Now, the recent developments in the Israel-Hamas conflict have shown unpredictability in the Middle East. Similarly, the energy security instability in the Strait of Hormuz has once again drawn global attention. The Strait of Hormuz serves as a vital bottleneck in global maritime trade, handling about 20% of the world's oil and gas. Iran's parliament has backed a plan to potentially close the strait, risking severe global economic repercussions. Such a closure poses potential risks and significantly increase shipping costs. This could skyrocket crude oil prices and fuel global inflation. And for nations like Vietnam, importing $5.5 billion in crude oil annually, the Strait of Hormuz is important. Now, to explore these implications, we've invited Mr. Philip Munzinger, Program Director of the GIZ Support Program, to the studio. Thank you, Mr. Philip, for joining us.
My pleasure.
Now, Philip, let's start with the immediate concerns. How do you assess the impact of the current instability in the Strait of Hormuz on Vietnam's energy security and supply chains?
So generally, the Strait of Hormuz is quite a choke point when it comes to global fuel supply, especially looking at petroleum, oil, and LPG. In the case of Vietnam, I would say it's mainly indirect impacts because Vietnam is supplying petroleum products and gas from the wider Middle East. Yeah? But any disruption in that area, be it higher shipping costs, be it any sort of disruption that would increase the fuel prices going through that strait and the wider region would result in higher fuel costs globally and would also impact Vietnam. So for that reason, it is very important for Vietnam to diversify its import from various states, be it LPG, be it oil.
So one of the keywords that we have been approaching and repeating it so far is diversification. And given that, what role do you think that renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power can play in enhancing Vietnam's energy security and also amid such global geopolitical uncertainties?
Solar and wind power play a key role in diversification to ensure local energy security. First of all, solar and wind power, because they can be harvested domestically, they're cheap. Vietnam has a huge solar radiation, has a large wind power potential, not only onshore but also offshore. And these two sources of power, they help you to bring down the overall costs of electricity. And we can already see that in the market. Important for that is that you diversify not only in your imports on fuels, but you also diversify in the energy sources that you have, where you have a local large potential. So solar energy, wind power, and hydropower. And Vietnam has been doing very well over the last decade on hydropower and can be lucky that they have a strong hydropower capacity that they can use because the hydropower capacity is very helpful for integrating renewable energies like solar and wind power into the electricity system. Then what is very important is to flexibilize the power system. That means power grids need to be modernized, need to be flexibilized. For that, a strong policy framework is important that is really planned in the long term and provide certainty to investors, not only public investments, but also private investments.
Thank you so much, Mr. Philip, again for your input. It was very insightful.
My pleasure.
Yes, and now to learn more about Vietnam's current energy transition efforts, check out our reportage recently on the topic.
Vietnam is actively bolstering its energy security. New regulations like Decree 58, issued March 3, 2025, create a vital legal framework for renewable energy investment. This commitment places Vietnam among Southeast Asia's leaders in solar and wind power. However, despite these strides, the nation's energy journey still faces significant hurdles.
The biggest challenge for Vietnam energy is obviously to achieve the dual goal of maintaining, or growing our power sources, maintaining our energy security, and at the same time make them clean. It requires a huge investment from both the public and the private sector.
This presents the retroactive revision to solar and wind project pricing have seriously shaken the investor confidence.
Experts recommend a four-pillar approach: robust policies, significant grid upgrades, innovative financing, and a focus on people and technology.
The driving force for Vietnam growth has always been a huge manufacturing sector, a young and vibrant economy, and the buying power has been increased. So that will always correlate to the high growth of energy demand. The high growth energy demand is the root of every potential of Vietnam.
From nearly 0 megawatts in 2017 or 18, we came with 10 gigawatts only in 2 years get to the system. That's pretty huge number compared to any other country in the world. So I think that would be attributed to Vietnamese government policy and also for the competency and also for the flexibility of the Vietnamese markets. We are still in the hot spots and keep attracting focus of the foreign investor. So I think at the moment we are 50% clean. So keeping 50% clean in the next 10 years would be, the world records for an emerging country like Vietnam.